Hey, Lonnie, are you there? This is important. We need to talk right now. I need to ask something of you. It's quite urgent, so you need to reply to me when you see my message.
Huh? Is that you, Ollie? It's barely the afternoon. Why are you messaging me? Shouldn't you be doing work right now?
That's not the issue at the moment. This is about me for once. So you need to listen to me, as it's a really pressing issue.
Okay then. So what's going on? What did you want to talk about?
Our marriage certificate was left at the front door entrance. What do you intend to do with this piece of paper? What's the meaning of this?
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, that thing! Oh, I think I know. Actually, your mother came by and dropped it off at the house. She brought it over for you.
My mother? She brought it over? What do you mean?
Well, I was about to leave the house and I go to open the front door and I bumped into her there. She kept talking about when we were going to get married, but I needed her to stop as I was running late to go to the airport. I thought that I would make it in time to the airport and catch my flight, but because I was late, they wouldn't check me in, so I went home. But the marriage certificate was put in my handbag as your mother forced it in there before I left the house. It's not something that I wanted to take with me on my business trip. So I left it in the entrance because I was in such a hurry.
Are you for real? She actually came over and gave you the papers before your business trip? That's gotta be some sort of joke, right?
But I can understand where your mother's coming from by giving us those papers to look at.
Huh? What do you mean by that? You're not seriously siding with her about this, are you?
Well, since she was there, I thought it would have been the best opportunity to hear her out, so I listened to everything she said and took it all in straight away.
Huh? You took what in? What exactly did she say to you?
Haven't you been reading any of the messages I've sent? About marriage, of course. Don't you remember we started dating when I was 23 and you just turned 29 and then a year and a half later you proposed to me? Then we started living in the same place together right after that. Nothing else has happened since then. It's already been 5 years since you proposed to me and that you made a promise to marry me. Are you still up for marrying me or what? I've been waiting so long.
But wait a second. Is that why you brought up the subject of the marriage papers sitting in front of our entrance?
You brought it up. I'm just telling you that I've waited so long. Your own mother seems to be sick of waiting as well, as she was the one that came over with the documents in her hand.
Oh my god. Lonnie, you're so impatient when it comes to getting married, aren't you?
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. I just booked myself on the next flight out of here, so I'm about to board it. We'll continue this conversation when I get home tomorrow after this business trip.
Huh? What? You want to continue talking about this marriage stuff?
Well, since it's been brought up by your mother and also myself, there's no better opportunity to talk about it than right now, in the present day, Ollie. If you think about it, messaging about it is not the best place to talk about something this important. Let's just make a time to talk about it face to face so we can openly communicate and hear each other's thoughts on the matter.
Ugh. I don't know about all of that. It sounds like a lot of work just talking about it.
Hi, sweetheart. Are you there, Lonnie? Is now a good time for us to talk? Oh, hi, Mom. How are you doing? I'm currently at a hotel as I'm on a business trip. I hope you don't mind. Oh, really? You're at a hotel? You're on a business trip again? Yeah, it's been super busy in the office lately. I was assigned to a different department because of a change they underwent 6 months ago. The department has been sending me to different parts of the country, so I don't really have much of a choice but to go. It's great that you're able to get so much out of your job and that you can see different areas of the country. But what does Ali have to say about you going here, there, and everywhere? Oh, Ali? I mean, he's not really mentioned much about my business trip or how much I'm not at home. When I told him that I had been assigned to a department that required me to go on a lot of business trips, his response was, right, okay. He didn't seem to be listening or didn't care. Maybe my thinking is a little bit old-fashioned. But it's not good for a couple who've been living together for 5 years with not much intention on getting married to be having such different lifestyles. Well, I guess it doesn't help that Ali's father passed away after being hospitalized for such a long time. I think it's because a lot of things happened and you both haven't found the right time to get married. But it's still been 5 years. Don't you think it's because you both have different values? That's why nothing's happened? Yeah, you could be onto something there, Mom. I really don't know what to do about it. Well, it could be related to that, but I don't either, Lonnie. What's up, Mom? What are you thinking? Maybe I could offer you to go on a blind date with someone else. That could push Ollie into making a decision, right? What the heck, Mom? Why would I do that when I'm engaged? I don't know the full details, but your father will explain it to you over the phone. If you don't have much time right now, maybe we can discuss this later? Yeah, I'm a bit busy right now. Okay, let's just talk about this later. But I'm hearing what you're saying now. Hello, Ollie? Are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I walked through the door just now. Are you still at work? What are you up to?
No, I'm not at work right now. I'm currently at a cafe using their Wi-Fi.
Huh? What are you doing there for? I know that we've got Wi-Fi at home, right?
I know, but I don't want to be at home at the moment. You kept going on and on about marriage this, marriage that. I don't want to hear any of it right now.
Hey, well, I was being serious yesterday. I feel like I should be after waiting this long. I can't avoid this any longer because some people are urging us to get married already. Don't you think it's fair to talk about it?
Oh, come on, Lonnie. Don't ask those sort of things.
What's so funny, Ollie? I'm trying to have a decent conversation with you about us. I've just turned 30 and you've just turned 35. We should be talking more about this. If you want to get married to me, then let's do it. If you don't, then you need to say so. Can't you just give me a clear decision?
Even though you say that to me, I just don't know. I want to continue living with you, but if we're to get married, there would be so many things that would bother me.
What things would bother you, Ollie? I don't get it. What would be so different?
There's just various things that would bother me, such as relationship with relatives, having to interact with each other's parents, and whether to have children.
I don't think we'd have much to do with the rest of our relatives and just have more focus on each other. I don't think my parents would mind if we were a bit distant from them after we got married.
But would that really happen, though? There are times when things change suddenly when two people get married, though.
Don't you think you're being a bit two-faced about this? I don't get why you are. Also, when it comes to having kids, I don't mind if we have them or not. It's not a huge deal breaker for me. I'd also be fine with living as a couple forever if we couldn't have children. But if we do decide to have children, by the time we try, it might be too late for me to get pregnant without too many complications. There are more physical limitations when it comes to raising children at an older age, you know. That's why I think it's important to think about all these things in advance so that decisions can be made and that we know what we want.
I guess I see your point, but I don't want to have to worry about what we're discussing about in the future, so...
I see what you mean. I know that you're that kind of person. So it's best to talk about it sooner rather than later?
I guess so, but... I don't know about something like this.
Huh? What do you mean? I'm a bit confused. You need to be more specific.
It just seems like you're giving me no choice but to marry you. Like, don't you think you're putting a lot of pressure on me?
I guess so, but I wouldn't describe it like that. Rather that I'm checking to see if you have any desire in marrying me. That's why we've been talking about the pros and cons from both points of view. Look, if you've got something to say, it would be best if you say it now. I'll also use it as a base to make future decisions.
Okay then, I suppose we better talk some more. What do we do about dividing our things in the property?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Are you planning on dividing our assets even before we could get divorced and get married?
Wait a second. No, I don't think that's quite what I meant. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what I mean anymore.
If you've got any complaints about us, I would like you to take the opportunity to speak out about them right now.
No, that's not it either. I don't think I've got any complaints. I'm just wondering how I can word what I'm about to say. Just so that I can get my point across without you interrupting. What about being the breadwinner of the family? I guess I might not be ready for that kind of responsibility yet. Am I?
I don't want to put the financial burden solely on you to earn for us. I've mentioned that before, and I intend to continue working at my job after we get married.
I'm actually quite relieved for you to say that, but I guess maybe this isn't the right time to be trying to step up to be the sole earner. Is it?
Does that mean that you want more time to think about what you want? You do realize that it's been over 5 years since you proposed to me, right?
Look, I know that. It's just so hard to think about so many things at once. This is just giving me so much trouble and it's bothering me a lot.
Huh? I really don't get it. What's the problem, Ollie?
I just want to live like we have been for now. If you're the one who wants to get married, then I see no point in continuing on with this relationship. If you don't like that idea, then don't say anything about it. If you keep pressing me to get married one more time or before I feel like getting married, I'll just say goodbye now. That's the idea I've got.
Oh, okay. I see. I guess I understand. I'll just leave it at that then. So, I guess you don't want me mentioning anything about marriage ever again. Is that it?
Oh my gosh, Lonnie. It's about time that you caught on. I don't see any point on bringing up marriage ever. Haha. Surely you understand that. The way things are now is the easiest way for us, right?
No, I don't understand. I have the exact opposite opinion, so I think I'll continue talking about marriage.
What? Did you see what I just wrote? Did you even read my message?
If that's the conclusion you've come to, Ollie, I don't want to be any part of it. From here, this is the end of us. Goodbye and good luck with everything, Ollie.
Are you serious? Lonnie! Lonnie! Can you reply to me, please?
Hi, Mom. I hope you're doing well. You know how yesterday you mentioned something about a blind date? I think we can go ahead with that, and I'm fine doing it. Hi, Lonnie. Is that all right? What made you change your mind? Yeah, I've had enough of Ollie. I can't get anywhere with him. In my mind, messaging was my last option after not being able to talk to him face to face. He was too afraid to face me and just ran off to do whatever he does by himself. Wait, what? He ran away from you? Yeah. When I messaged him saying that I just got back from my business trip, he said that he went to a cafe to use their Wi-Fi. Ah, okay. That's no good, my dear Lonnie. I'm so sorry that things aren't going so well. I guess he just is scared to talk about marriage. If he could just run away like that in such a natural way, then he obviously doesn't want to change anything. It's so frustrating! Still, I managed to message him and talk about things, but it was such a waste of time and energy. He's just impossible to deal with right now. Yeah, I bet. Well, I hope it can get you sorted out. Let's try to forget about him dragging you along for nothing.
Hey! Lonnie! What the heck's going on right now? You need to be straight with me. Where are all your things? There's hardly anything left in the apartment. Everything's gone.
It's because I stayed up all night packing my bags and moving out.
But why are you moving out? I don't understand.
Well, you were the one that confirmed it for me that we were never going to get married to each other. So that's why we're splitting up and I'm never coming back here.
What? I'm so confused. Just because I didn't want to get married doesn't mean I don't want to live with you. You can't just move out.
We're officially no longer living together, Ollie. It's over. Why should I live and be with you if you won't marry me?
I knew you'd be like this. Is it because I'm being too one-sided about marriage? Is that it?
Are you even thinking about us and what I want for the future?
But aren't things just fine the way they are right now? Why do you need to complicate it with getting married? Well, I hate to see you go like this. Just because I won't marry you?
That's just it, Ollie. I don't understand why you won't marry me after 5 years. Plus, you used my earnings as an excuse to keep yourself from getting a job, didn't you?
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm employed. What do you mean?
I heard that you had a huge falling out with your boss just over 3 months ago. Then you went and quit your job.
Wait, what? How'd you know about that? Who told you?
I've actually known about this for a little while, but I only really found out the details recently. My father is a factory manager, and he was a former business partner of your boss.
What? Your father knew my boss? They were once business partners? How did I not know about this?
Although I'm not directly involved with what my father does for work, so I kept quiet about it. I thought that it would be difficult for you if you knew that my father was business partners with your boss. It could have made things more awkward than they were. I used to sometimes see you go to his office from time to time when you were in sales. However, I haven't seen you in the past 3 months. Your successor in sales told me that you'd quit your job. I had to find out through him and not you.
But that's crazy how you found all that out. I didn't want you to find out like that.
You quit because you kept yelling at your boss for the own mistakes you were making. You can't just blame others for what you've done wrong. My father was able to tell me everything he knew about it. You've really become the man who has become accustomed to running away from his responsibilities. And of course it doesn't make me happy.
I suppose now you know everything, and I need to hurry up and get another job soon. You know if I do that, it'll be the same as before.
I just don't understand why you'd hide something like you quitting your job from me. Why did you?
I don't have to explain why. I did that. I just did, okay? Why do you want me to explain so much to you?
You give me nothing, Ollie. That's the part I'm starting to hate about us being together. I can't do this anymore. So without further ado, I'll say my goodbyes. Enjoy looking for a new job to support yourself.
Lonnie, I really need to talk to you. I've managed to prepare everything for us. Let's get married.
Huh? Who is this? Is that you, Ollie? Why the heck are you asking me this now?
Does that matter? Let's just get married. I'm ready for this.
Are you for real? It's been over a year since we split. Don't you realize that we are over? We're done. I stopped living with you. I stopped all contact with you. Don't you realize what a separation is? Why are you even proposing to me after all this time and not being together?
Because I've got myself sorted and I'm ready to take the next step with you. I've got myself another job. I can put money towards the ceremony and we can get back together. We can live together again.
Ali, I'm already married to someone else, though. It's not going to work out.
Huh? What are you talking about? How can you be married? We only broke up a year ago. Have you moved on?
After I broke up with you, my father set me up on a blind date with another man. I went on a date with him and we really hit it off. We share similar values, we're able to communicate our thoughts and feelings really well, and so it was a no-brainer but to go out with him. I found my person, and so we decided to get married, and that's what we did. There was no hesitation or going back and forth.
This has got to be some kind of sick joke, right?
I don't need to explain myself to you anymore. You didn't give me what I needed, and you never will. I no longer need your contact details anymore.
But you can't just do this to me. I want to get back together. I finally realized what I want.
It's too late. I'm going to block you now. Don't ever try and contact me ever again. Goodbye. He's just being the same as always. So I thought to myself, I'll block him from contacting me. Actually, I had vaguely heard about his situation after our breakup from his acquaintances. Apparently, 2 of my friends who I thought were single got married really quickly. It seems that they were pressured to get married by their mothers and to have grandchildren as soon as possible. Ali's mother was getting impatient and told him to get a job and propose to me. He got a job, but it was only part-time. He's not really earning a lot of money, according to my acquaintance. When he found out about my marriage, he lost all motivation, and he started to be absent from work and was then fired for missing work all the time. Recently, he's been looking after a bunch of kids at his parents' house. It seems that every day there's a battle between him and his mother about what he's done to his life.
Molly, I just heard the big news from my brother. Congratulations on getting engaged. If it isn't Christy. I heard from my family that you and him have been together for about 3 months now, but thinking that you'd both already be thinking about marriage is pretty crazy to me. I hear that you both plan to have the wedding in another 2 months at a restaurant? Yeah. I almost feel as though he wants to get married to me so badly that he has no patience left in himself. Well, you are living pretty close to our family's house, and you have been for a long time now. And even though he's 10 years older than me and you guys have known each other for so long that it's almost as though you've been dating a lot longer than 3 months. So I don't find you guys getting married too strange. It's just crazy is all. Would you shut up, please? Huh? Ugh, I've had enough of this. It's beginning to become a huge bother for me, so I think I'm going to call it quits. You and I are no longer friends. Molly. Listen, back in the day, you were really a good friend of mine and all, but ever since you had to start sitting in that wheelchair 2 years ago, it's been a pain in my butt being friends with you. Huh? For some reason, everyone seems to think it's okay to have me be the one to take care of you all the time, just because we were good friends and I live near you. And as for my parents, I have no idea why, but it seems like they feel some kind of obligation to have me help you around and such. So, whatever, I guess. The only reason I've been able to stick around and care for you this long is because I've been after that really top-notch man that you happen to be related to. Stick around? The only reason that I've been around helping you is so that I could get your brother to start taking an interest in me. He's known about me for a long time, but not enough to have any interest in me. But I felt that if I showed him that I'm a caring person by pushing you around and being a good friend of yours, he'd really start taking a liking to me. And guess what? He has taken a huge liking to me, and so I have no use for you anymore. What are you talking about? You were just using me so that you could get closer to my brother and get him to like you? That's what I'm saying. But listen here. Don't you dare go telling him about that, or else I'll push you and that wheelchair down a flight of stairs. Because if he learns that I've only been caring for you to get to him, he might not love me anymore. The only reason he wants to marry me is because he thinks I'm selfless and caring towards people like you. And to be honest, even if you did start to talk to him about what I've said, I doubt he'll believe you. He'll probably just turn around and tell you to stop talking badly about the woman he loves. So this is the way you've thought of me all along? How else did you want me to think of you? Do you really think I'm the kind of person that is happy with sacrificing their time just to help a cripple with no reward in sight? I was only using you like a tool so that I could get your brother to fall for me like he has, and then proceed to marry him. And would you look at that? It worked! I've heard enough from you. I understand what I mean to you now, and so I've had enough. Even if you are being true about how you feel about me, it's not going to matter. I know that I can live perfectly fine on my own without your help, and I'm going to start that life right now. Huh? I am thankful that you helped me find a job after I ended up in this wheelchair. And because of that, I'm able to make some decent money. I'll have to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I go out and plan it all out well, but I'm so used to that now that I don't need you there to help me. And honestly, there are other people besides you that can help me if I need it. So you are no longer needed by me, Molly. Thank you for everything up until now. Christy, do you have some time? I know that you're already aware that tomorrow's wedding is going to be held at a restaurant, but I have to ask, are you alright with not showing up for it? I'm sure you are, right? Huh? It's been a little while since we last talked, and this is what you want to talk about? You're asking me to stay away on the day of my brother's wedding? I'm sorry, but that's a little strange of you to be asking his own little sister. All I'm asking is that you tell everyone that you're not feeling too well, and that that's the reason for you not making it to the wedding tomorrow. However, if you really want to come tomorrow, then you'd better be walking into the wedding. Because you coming in that wheelchair of yours will embarrass me in front of my family. From what I've read, the restaurant is fully accessible to those in wheelchairs, so... But what I'm saying is that wheelchairs are not allowed in my wedding. I don't want my family and friends knowing that within the family I'm marrying into, there's a cripple in a wheelchair. You do realize that both you and I share a lot of friends, so why is it a huge problem now if they know? I don't care about that. I'm talking about what'll happen tomorrow. There are going to be people coming tomorrow that don't know about you or your wheelchair, and I want it to stay that way. Are you going to understand what I'm asking you right now? I am marrying your brother because I think he is the perfect man, but when it comes to his little sister, I only see you as being a stain on his reputation that I don't want people looking at. All right. Fine, I'll stay here at home tomorrow while you all enjoy the wedding. Go ahead and remove my name from the guest list. And there's one other thing. I'd like for you to leave your parents' house for good as well. Why should I do that? I'm sure you're well aware that after I marry your brother, I'm going to be moving into your parents' house with him and your parents. But you are in the way of that. If I have to move into that house with you still living there, then things are going to stay the same as they've been for the past 2 years, and I'm going to have to care for your needs. So before the wedding finishes tomorrow, I want you out of that house.
Christy.
Huh? Ryan? You're at home right now with me, so why are you choosing to text me instead of coming over to my room?
Well, right now Mom and Dad are in the living room, and I don't want them to hear what I want to say to you. For right now, at least. Okay? Just a second ago, I saw that you were texting someone on your phone, and you had a pretty miserable looking face.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, but when I saw you looking that way, I walked by and took a quick look at your phone screen. Were you talking with Molly? I saw that she told you that tomorrow's wedding wouldn't allow wheelchairs. And that she asked you to not show up to the wedding tomorrow, right? What the hell is up with all that?
You saw all of that from her then?
I really want you to be able to tell me everything about what's going on between you two.
Christy! Hey! What the hell is going on over here? What are you talking about? I just showed up to the restaurant in my wedding dress, but there isn't a single soul here. I am the bride, after all, and so I had to go and get my dress on and do my makeup and hair and everything, so I was expecting to get here when everyone else was already showing up. But my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, even my cousins, and not just all of my family, but Ryan's family as well, and even our friends. Not a single one of them is here right now to celebrate my wedding. And not just all of them, but even Ryan's not here right now to see me. The restaurant isn't even open right now either. How the hell am I going to get in there? Tell me what the actual hell is going on right now. Molly, what are you even going on about right now? I thought that the wedding had been canceled and that everyone had already been informed, including you. Huh? Yesterday evening, my brother went over to your place and there he talked with your parents about everything and about how the wedding would be canceled and that he'd no longer be engaged to you. And to make sure that the reservation and all the food that's already been prepared doesn't go to waste, Ryan is having his boss and the rest of the company come there and throw a small party while enjoying all that food. Huh? What the frick are you talking about, Christy? Last night, Ryan did end up coming over to my place for a bit, but he was here to talk to my parents about the wedding today, and to tell them that wheelchairs would not be allowed at the wedding. And he told them that meant you wouldn't be able to come. And before he left, he told them that what all that meant was exactly how it sounded. Well, he had a very serious look on his face. Molly, are you going to be okay? What are you talking about? Why are you asking me that? Are you sure you listened in on everything that my brother said to your parents last night? I did. That's what I just told you. And from what I heard, Ryan agreed with what I said about you and what I was asking for. And so he was here to let my parents know that you wouldn't be showing up at the wedding. Well, you're right to think that the conversation they had was about me not being able to come to the wedding and that I'd ultimately be taken off the guest list. But my brother was actually protesting to your parents about how you used me to get closer to him, and that he knew you didn't actually care about me whatsoever, and that was all due to me being in this wheelchair. Huh? He protested? Ryan is telling me that he's going to talk with you now, so you go ahead and talk with him about this.
Molly?
Ryan, is that you?
What exactly do you think that conversation with your parents yesterday meant?
What did I think it meant? I thought you were talking with my parents about how your sister and her wheelchair are in our way, and that for the sake of our happy future, you wouldn't be allowing her to come to our wedding.
That's only what you want to think. The reason I was there last night is because the way you talked about my sister is not acceptable. And I had to complain to your parents about that.
Huh?
And just a quick side note, you didn't listen to a single thing yesterday during my conversation with them, because all you did was sit on the couch in the other room looking at your phone the whole time.
I just assumed that you guys were done talking about the important stuff.
Well, unfortunately, we were only getting started with the important stuff. Stuff like how I'm no longer going to be marrying you.
You're joking, right?
Hey, Molly, I know that you're aware that Christy is the person that saved your life. But for you to talk to her like she means nothing to you after what she did is just terrible. And it shocked me to my core.
Huh? She saved my life? What are you talking about now?
Huh? Wait a second. Are you kidding me? You never even realized something like that either this whole time?
Huh? What?
This is just...
Ryan! What the hell are you talking about?
How about you just get your butt back to my place and then we could talk about all of this face to face? I'm sorry, but this isn't something I can talk about through text.
This is all just a joke, right? When I was about to fall down those stairs, you stepped in to save me? Molly, back then you were talking a whole lot with someone else while walking and you never noticed the flight of stairs ahead of yourself. I tried to yell at you to look out for the stairs as you continued to chat with your friend, but you didn't seem to be listening to a word I was saying. So when you were about to lose your footing and fall all the way down those stairs, I reached in to help you fall back towards the hallway, which then led to me falling all the way down that flight of stairs instead. Back then, I had just assumed you were trying to be a little jerk by hitting me in the chest with your arm and that you got what you deserved by falling down those stairs right after. So that's why you ended up in the wheelchair. My parents made me take care of you for the next 2 years, as though we were obligated to do so for you. For the longest time, I didn't want you to feel responsible for me ending up like this, so I never talked to you about what happened that day. But to actually think that by not talking to you about what happened, you just assumed I was trying to mess with you and that I was the one that fell down those stairs for it? But I just don't... I'm going to be very honest with you about this now, since things have changed so much between us. Molly, you never seem to care about what other people are saying to you, do you? You always like to make everything seem as though it's about you, and then anything that doesn't have anything to do with you directly, you just forget about or change. Huh? You think that that's... When my brother was talking about how he wasn't going to marry you anymore, you did the same thing. When he was at your house talking with you and your parents, he was very upset with you. But you changed what was going on in your mind so that it looked as though he was just there to agree with you on not wanting me to come to the wedding because of my wheelchair. Is that right? I see. You're probably not going to be able to understand all of this right away. Well, I'm sorry, but with the way you've become, I no longer want to have anything to do with you. Huh? I'm not sure if after all this is over, you'll be able to think hard about what you've done and change your ways due to all of it. But as of right now, I'm having a really hard time believing that you've said so many terrible things to me, yet have not once said an apology to me for it. Well, then what the hell should I do? Right now it seems like nobody is going to be on my side after what you've all done. And you should take the time to think about why that is, although at this point, you're probably not even listening to the advice I'm giving. Anyway, I know I'm the kind of person that's able to put up with a lot of crap, but this has all gone way too far. I want you to stay away from me forever now. Christy! A few days after what had gone down, Molly's parents were kind enough to give Ryan a lot of money for all the time and effort that Molly had wasted of his, and then moved away from being near our house. And as of now, Molly has been moved into her godmother's house, somewhere way out of town, as neither of her parents are willing to house her anymore after the embarrassment and shame she brought them. Her godmother is having her go to therapy now after what she said to me, and after not having any recollection of what I did for her to save her life. And hopefully with time, Molly is going to be able to find an answer to why she's so self-centered, and to how she'll be able to make up for her mistakes. What she had done really did mess both myself and Ryan up mentally, but the two of us are working hard together to get over what happened to us. And another thing to do with me. I've been told that if I continue to go through rehabilitation for a while longer, I might actually have a chance of walking again. And so, as of right now, I'm putting all my attention on going to rehab and working towards a future where I no longer have to think about what I sacrificed to save Molly. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.